should I taste like candy rain running rivers?
It is me, Wanda B, and you're listening to the He Says, She Says show on IntellectualRadio.com, and we're here for another Sunday. Had a busy weekend, a lot of stepping, and went to the picnic, WVON picnic. We had a nice time. Saw Elder Barge. I never quite understood the concept of women taking their underwear off and throwing it on stage, but I kind of was watching women, and I thought that may actually happen in front of my eyes. I know I love the smell. Yes, L.
I should have known L was gonna bring them out.
L brought them out. Rolls Royce was good too. A lot of old school. It was very nice. So we are here today, and I am going to bring you a quick word from our sponsors before we get started with our topic today. So here we go. No. Here it comes. Yo, it was going so smooth for me, and then it all goes. Here we go. A quick word from our sponsors.
Are you ready for this? Stokey is coming to town.
Enough for you. You're the sweetest thing to dip in my palm soon. Have a spoon or two.
Team Drive is going to come out. We're going to have the Dale Phonics, Bab Savage, Theo Huff. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have public announcements. Phil Davis and public announcements. Ricky Rainbow. I love me some Ricky Rainbow and the Emperors of Funk, and then Bab Savage, the Independence. That's going to be Saturday, August 19th. Call for your tickets at babsavage.com or on Eventbrite, the Soul Smash Chicago. So, okay. I'm happy to have some guests here. You know, I always have my right hand man to my left hand, Yacht too.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
And Cressy's here, going to fill in. And then we got Gina Lamar. She's going to be on her way, coming in, talking to us about some of our topics today. So here we go. So cheating and trending. Well, first, let me ask you this. How was your weekend in Yatu?
My weekend has been great. Thank you for asking. It's been wonderful.
He's smiling.
It's been wonderful, except for traffic. I got caught in traffic today. Last night it was crazy. The fireworks, fish concert, like you said, WVON festival. The Silver Room had a block party in Hyde Park. It was like, was Pitchfork or something going on in the park?
What is Pitchfork?
It's a music festival. It's over there, like off Randolph and
So yes, everything was going on yesterday.
Everything was popping this weekend.
Yes, it took me an hour to get home, and I'm like, this is unreal. Traffic was horrible. What about you, Cressy? So far, how's your weekend?
Okay, I didn't do anything. I was with friends and played cards all day.
Oh, that's doing something.
Okay, laid back. There's nothing wrong with laid back now.
Cool. It was chill.
My next vacation is good. It ain't gonna be lit. It's gonna be sleep.
Right.
I'm just going
How
somewhere
is
to rest.
sleep vacation?
That's what you need to do. Sometimes you go kick it. You be tired when you come back. So I need a vacation that's for rest and relaxation.
Right.
I'm gonna lay on somebody's beach and just tan and do almost nothing else but eat and drink.
You know what?
Have
Okay, he threw that in there. If you're on Facebook, please join in on the topic. If you have something you'd like to talk to us about we're going to be talking about cheating. Is cheating trending? I mean, lately it seems like that's kind of almost an acceptable, cool thing to do or something. Is it trending? We're also going to be talking about STIs. They've changed the disease to infections. And so we're going to talk about how that happened when Gina gets here. So please, if you're on Facebook, chime in, let us know. Please share this broadcast as well. Share it with your friends and tune in on the conversation. Hello to hey, Shireen, my Kinky Conversations friend from here at IntellectualRadio.com. Netse, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you for joining us today, and anybody else who wants to chime in on the topic. So cheating trending. They say that more than 50% of all married women now are cheating.
That's only the percentages getting caught.
Right.
75 to 80, baby.
Right. In my practice, that's a pretty common scenario.
Is
My
it?
practice too.
What do you practice, Cressy? Let's tell them.
I'm a
Well,
counselor.
I won't even ask you what you practicing in Yatu. What do you practice?
I'm in private practice. I do counseling. with
Counseling.
couples.
Oh, okay. A lot of people need that.
Mhm.
After this show, if you feel you need some help, call Cressy,
pass
please.
it
I'm gonna come lay on your
information.
couch, definitely.
And Yatu,
No, the therapy
lay on
couch. I gotta tell you everything. No, I believe in therapy. I'm
Yes.
dead serious. No
Black people
pun
really
intended in
need
that
to-
situation. You need to vent. You need to hear yourself say some things out loud. You need to have a
Facts.
safe place where you can, say how you really feel. Like when you tell friends and stuff like that, sometimes they throw it back at you. Sometimes they wonder how what you're telling them affects y'all's relationship, and they somehow make it about them in some ways. And so when you're talking to a counselor, somebody who's not involved with anybody in your life, can't and won't throw it back in your face, can't and won't tell anybody else, there's a freedom you wouldn't believe.
Their responses don't come from their experiences, because
Right.
sometimes a lot of their
Exactly. Right.
advice comes from what they've experienced, and that
Exactly.
isn't always necessarily helpful for everyone. So
Exactly.
definitely a good shout out to get some help from Cressy.
Boom.
Yeah.
Dub Nation, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. The Windy City Grays, also one of our sponsors. They're going to be playing tonight at 7:30 at Centennial Park in Orland Park, and then on Monday in Park Forest at Central Park at 7:45, and then on Wednesday they have a double header, and they're going to be playing at 6:30, and then again at 7:30 at Heritage Park and Creek. And then you know what? The whole team is going to come over to room 183, where we're going to have our He Said, She Said live, and the
Right,
team
right.
is showing up.
What sport is that?
What do you
They're
say?
playing baseball or softball?
Softball. Windy
league.
City Grays
Okay, there it
is a softball league. Go out and see them tonight in
They come
Orland
out of
Park.
retirement.
And then go see their games, and then head over to room 183 at 4167 West 183rd Street in Country Club Hills at 8 o'clock. And we're going to be talking about the hot topics that we talk about here. I think social media is going to come up. I think we're going to have an array of topics. I think a few people have told me things they want to talk about, and they said they're going to come out and bring up the conversation and debate. It's kind of wild, funny.
It's
we have a
everything.
good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Great
cheating.
time.
They said 30 to 60% will engage in infidelity at some point in their marriage. 30 to 60%.
That's scary somewhat.
It is. Why do you think? What is changing? What is going on with the art of cheating?
The side chick is in. Oh, and
Side chicks.
The side man.
Well,
And side dudes.
I disagree. I think it's always been there, but now there's a wider pool of people to cheat with. There's a wider pool of ways to get caught, and so it's not as easy to hide. It's not as easy to avoid for people, and so now people are like trying to own it because they don't see another viable option to do what they want to do. And so ultimately, I don't believe anything has changed. I think human nature is human nature. People are people, and none of these other factors are contributing to how much is getting done. It's just contributing to how aware we are of it.
I do think women, though, are becoming less shameful of it. It used to be more of a keep it hidden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now
absolutely.
they're a little bit more prideful on being the side chick.
Savage.
Yep.
So I do think a little
Yeah.
bit of that has changed, that the stigma has been taken away, and it's a little bit more pride. I got your man. If you can't take care of him, or even I'm okay with you having him, and the time you can have him, and the time I spend is the time I spend. And it used to not be so bold.
Yeah.
Maybe is that it, or what do you think, Cressy?
No, I think they're very bold. I mean, we went from wearing letter A's on our chest to now it's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, and I know women who are active and I only date married men, and I like my role and I don't like having all the responsibility, and that's becoming, and that's very okay with them.
Now, has that changed though? Like Inyatu is saying that has always been. What is the difference from 1978 and today? So, when there were mistresses and now there are side chicks. What's the difference between them?
Not much.
Again, just more availability.
Yeah, more
availability.
Yeah, I guess I can agree
Before
with
you
that.
might could only, find yourself a side chick in your city or in your community. Now the whole world is wide open. You can meet people on social media from anywhere and everywhere. And again, that creates more ways to get caught. You know?
Maybe it was more secret, at least.
I still think it was more, you didn't tell your friends.
You
now
didn't
you're
tell.
married, you
Yeah.
tell all your friends and tell people out in public. Before you were a little bit shameful.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
because they
wouldn't
getting
tell
caught.
people.
It's because people are getting caught. They find out more and more people are doing it. Celebrities are getting caught. Some of them are staying together. Some of them aren't staying together. But it's just more publicized. And so now people feel less like they have the scarlet letter on their chest and more like they're normal because they're finding that so many people are doing it. And you know, a lot of times it's surprising to people. You know, I don't know if Bill Cosby was guilty of doing some rape, but he's clearly guilty of infidelity, and that's people. You know, somebody people looked up to for a long time, looked at him as from the Cosby Show, and if he's doing it, it's like, what is the expectation of me morally? Pastors are getting caught doing it. You know, it's rumored that some of our very famous leaders, you know, sometimes indulge in other women. I know Muhammad Ali was my hero. He's had trouble staying with one woman, and so people are like, okay.
Now, his religious beliefs, though, wasn't.
But I don't know if the problem is being with one person versus the lying behind it. I think there's the difference, because I would wonder, especially in his religion, if the women maybe knew,
and they're okay with it.
No, sometimes he was getting caught.
Okay.
It's my hero. I studied the man. Sometimes he was getting caught, and he said this is my weakness. And every superhero, even when they make it in the movies and it's not real, they give every superhero some type of weakness, because we all know nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna have some type of Achilles heel or something, and for some people, that's their thing. And so, you know, I know happily married women who. Sometimes
you can't be happily married. Let's talk about that. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, you can.
Hey T Bizzle, Teresa T Bizzle from Chicago, CGF Entertainment here at IntellectualRadio.com on Tuesdays at 9. She says the difference is it's reality TV in the trap rap music, and 3/4 of the world's population has no conscience anymore. So is it really that society is changing around us, that it is the new cool? Like we're saying, is it trending is no stigma, no letter A's? I'm proud.
People are overcompensating for it being judged so much. You know, just like she said, people have no conscience, and I think people misinterpret or misunderstand other human beings. We think because our heart doesn't work a certain way, our mind doesn't work a certain way, we don't believe, or our relationship or marriage wouldn't work a certain way, that it can't be working for other people, when it's really customized. No two people alike. There's no single formula that's just going to work for everybody across the board in every situation.
I also
the lying part is where it is not working.
Yeah, I'm going to say, but I also think there is an increased level of like outward selfishness that is happening. I mean, on some level, as a woman, I think at this point, maybe at my age, or I'm not sure, but at this point, I think my selfishness needs to not be about me, but also more looking out for other women. So if I'm in this quote unquote happy relationship, I should be able to tell my guy what I want to do, and we should be able to work them parameters out, versus me lying and being selfish and just doing my own thing.
Why not give that woman or man the opportunity to say yay or nay? They may say, go ahead and let's do this, and we'll stay married and we'll do it.
Okay, so people say that, and there are some rare. It's
not rare.
More rare case. Okay, not rare. That's the wrong word. There are some, but I just don't believe most women are going to tolerate that, even if they stepping out.
But
so how are they happy then?
Right. And they're not happy, and how they tolerating, and they okay with, and you comfortable doing the secret squirrel stuff, but you're not comfortable just saying, hey baby, can we?
I probably would rather you not get caught than you try to bring another man and y'all having sex to me.
So you wouldn't mind your wife being happily married to you and having another
what do
man?
You mean mind? No, I said don't get caught. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that. So be faithful, or be really, really good at sneaking and not getting caught. Because I don't
It's funny. I'm gonna say this. On some levels, I agree. It should never be brought to me. So arrangements around what we're allowed to do or what outside things are allowed or where we stand. And we are quote unquote in a monogamous relationship. Then if you do something, it shouldn't touch me.
I think if you love that person, you will go out of your way not to have your side things affect your relationship with them, if that's what you say you do. I think that is kind of important, and that's when I don't think you're not being loving to someone you supposedly love and are in love with and in this happy relationship, but you'll hurt them like that. I
think people have been conforming for years. Again, if you got a scarlet letter back in the day, and you know this is how this goes, you're gonna be scorned, you're gonna be talked about, you're gonna be the black sheep of the community. Things can happen to you physically. People sometimes try to hurt you about things like this, and that's the climate that you've been living in. And you're going to try to conform. You're going to try to get married and live that life that everybody expects you to live. And this mentality gets passed down and passed down and passed down. And there's some people who the status quo doesn't work for them, but they don't feel brave enough, comfortable enough, whatever it is, to break out of that. Over the course of my life, I've asked myself many a time, why do I like being single so much? Am I immature? Am I being selfish? Like, what is the issue? And what I have come to accept is that everybody is different. And so, people are overcompensating now. They cheering on. I think it's going to settle down after a while. I think people are going to overcompensate so there's not so judged. Same thing with gay pride. It was judged so much. It was restricted so much. It was looked down upon so much. And so now they're going out of their way to celebrate it so that people get over all that judgment and stuff. And then I think at that point, to some degree, I'm not saying people won't be proud or whatever, but I think, all the hoopla won't be as necessary because people have accepted it. But right now, it's like we're trying to force the world, get over it. Get over it. This is what it is. And so I think people are going that same route with cheating right now. Get over it. This is what it is. Some people enjoy being with more than one person. Some people want to have a meaningful relationship over here and have something else over there. Different people have different needs at different times, and so it's no one way to address it. I'm not saying I encourage cheating.
It sounds odd to say it's more than one way to address it. And I do agree, everybody's loves differently. But if you make an agreement with someone, you saying single makes all the sense in the world. That is the most fair thing to do. You haven't given anyone any commitments to anything. This is the lifestyle. What I don't get is if you want that, and then why even make a commitment with somebody? What's the point?
Because they want some of the things that come along with commitment too.
Then be upfront. This is what this is what's crazy to me.
Sounds great.
Upfront. We're not committed. We ain't bought property. We don't got anything going on. So it's no pressure.
All I can say is no and move on. Get somebody else.
Up front, this is my package. This is what I'm offering. What are you offering? No, yes, maybe. Okay. That's it. It's really simple. We don't even have to, so we can put it on the table. I need another girl. I need
people lying on their resumes, their mortgage applications. I mean, this is the world we live in right now. People boosting their credit, doing all types of things to be able to get whatever they can get. So
I hear that.
We have to pay attention to what's going on in the world, because usually nothing is just happening in one area. It's a lot of times it's happening all the way across the board.
Yeah.
And so, I try not to judge other people. Everybody didn't grow up the same way as I did. Everybody doesn't look the same way that I do. Everybody doesn't understand certain things the way I understand them. So everybody doesn't feel confident or comfortable to approach things a certain way. Or maybe they don't even want to. Some people call it cheating. Some people say, hey, if I'm handling my business over here and I want my wife to, if my behavior is not telling her, why should I tell her? If you happy, if I've been happy for the last 10 years and when on my deathbed, I found out my wife was cheating on me, but everything in our relationship was what it was supposed to be or whatever, I wonder if, only my ego would be bothering me. Mm-hmm. I wonder, you know what I mean? It's like, if you happy, why are we so concerned about everything else that's going on? And I don't even understand this concept.
We're talking about the unhappy ones then.
The unhappy ones.
Let's talk about those.
Right.
There are some they're the ones
absolutely. That's probably more. And a lot of people holding on for financial reasons, children, Some people just, once they get into something and it's been so long, it's difficult for them to get out of it. And that's true for jobs. That's true for family situations. That's true for a lot of things. Neighborhoods, communities. I remember doing business with a guy, and he was like, man, when y'all graduated from college, y'all started networking with all different types of people. He's like, I kept hanging with people in the community. And so y'all have a level of comfort with higher level people than I do. This is just the reality of his situation. I know someone else married somebody, right after high school. They high school sweetheart. It's been so long. How do you pull that apart? It's for some people that's difficult. Other people, they like, I don't care. I'm not happy. I'm out of here. Other people, they like, is it just a phase?
Y'all go see Cresty if y'all having those issues. I want you to go get some help. Okay, you're listening to He Says, She Says show on IntellectualRadio.com. If you want to call in on this topic, call us at 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953.
Have you ladies ever been cheated on?
Yeah.
Oh, do I tell my business on TV?
I'm okay with that one.
You know what?
Did you get to interview the guy who cheated on you and try to find out what was going on? Or
I
why?
did.
Okay. What you find out?
I will say
What
that.
you find out? We need to hear these things.
And it's crazy because I actually made a post also about this on Facebook recently about just trying to get some more data.
Right.
I'm just curious.
Right.
But what I got, because he could. Somebody was available and willing.
They say that's the biggest
That's
reason.
the biggest reason is the availability.
That's the biggest reason. Yeah.
And also, I think the position of where he was in life. I don't think he was ready at that point for commitment. And it's interesting because even when I say commitment, it doesn't mean commitment in monogamy. Just the overarching commitment.
And sometimes I think if you know who you're dealing with, probably if he would have talked to you, I know you, Chris, you personally. So I know had he just had a conversation, life could have been different. So
She's liberated.
Sometimes the line is just the problem.
I have a question.
I
have a question.
Yes.
So what exactly is it about him cheating that bothered you or hurt you? I want to understand.
I think it wasn't necessary.
That's the thing, wasn't necessary.
It wasn't for me. I'll speak just for me.
So it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary considering who I am and the options that I tend to be extremely comfortable with.
Right.
It didn't make any sense. And then, so if you lie there, then so now I don't know, how can you lie anywhere? Right. And it's not necessary. So now we've now broken trust.
What if he doesn't want you to know? How does a man? It's
not about you.
No. How does a man who wants to date you and wants you to feel like he's all about you, because in many ways he really is all about you, and the here and there that he might want to do something else, he really doesn't. He don't want you to know about that because it's so. I mean, what if that's how he really feels? He doesn't want to share it with you. He doesn't want you. He doesn't want to discuss it with you. How does this person
then
deal
make
with
sure
that?
I don't know.
There it is. All
Say that again.
Make sure she doesn't know. Make sure it doesn't get back to her. Don't let it
shouldn't touch me. I think that's where it gets that
simple. If that's the choice you want to make, that he doesn't want you to know, I shouldn't know then. How do I know then?
I shouldn't know. I shouldn't suspect it. I shouldn't have
any clues. It shouldn't affect my life.
Right. It should not touch me.
But that is a whole nother topic of what I'm about to say. But I think sometimes it's never about us. The reason why they do it has nothing to do with us, and that's why it can't be resolved because it's what they're doing for them, what they need, and doesn't have anything to do with us. Darius says people want their cake and eat it too. That's the mentality of some today. And I think that is for some people, some truth to that. I have been cheated on, but my ex told me about it. I wish he never would have told me.
See?
Had he not told me, our lives would have been extremely different. And I know people, I put this, we have a group, He Said, She Said, on Facebook, and please join the group if we talk about these conversations all week long. Different things come up in topics. And when he told me, it changed everything for me. My life wasn't the same. It turned it upside down. What I thought was true. And then what I was going to do different next with this information changed everything for me. And it changed ignorance was bliss for me. That term really, ignorance was bliss. And then I realized what we were talking in the Facebook group, and I realized that was very selfish of him to relieve his guilt. he wanted to take the guilt off of him, so he decided he was going to tell me so he wouldn't have to walk away feeling guilty. And now you blew up everything.
I agree with her that was selfish. At a young age, I was selfish, did the same thing. I think it's a lot of people might not agree with this, and a lot of people might not subscribe to this, but unless you're unhappy and you want to break it off or whatever the case may be, I don't.
What if the person asks, like, I want to know, like, you gonna lie?
I don't know.
I think that's different because then it is telling the truth. If I didn't have a clue and now you decide to tell me to unleash your guilt and you've undone this burden on yourself of now I'm going totally honest. But now where it's like, what?
As a man, I don't want to be asked about me and other women. I don't.
What you mean?
I don't want someone to ask me about my relationships with other women. That's not something I want to discuss. And
You mean in a relationship or just
because you're dating multiple women? Any woman saying, so what did you do last Friday? And they say, and you go,
I'm just saying, it depends, but I'm just saying overall, I don't like to discuss that. That's not comfortable for me. And the reason why is because to me, most people's mindset is trained and conditioned to respond to it a certain way, to think that it means certain things that it doesn't mean. And so I hate when I have to tell a person the truth that's going to make them believe a lie.
What a lie?
Wait, what's the
that doesn't?
So
it makes sense, but I don't quite understand it.
If I tell you, okay, yeah, I slept with so and so, and she came this many times and I came this many times.
Well, that's a little bit much. She didn't ask all that now. She just said, did you go to dinner? Not how many times everybody was coming.
Or even that. And that doesn't mean to say that I won't tell the truth.
I'm just saying, too now.
I don't enjoy it. Okay, it was just a date. There is no sex. So whatever the case may be, it make them feel that how I feel about them is somehow diluted when the truth is in that situation it hasn't been in any way, shape, or form. If somebody asks
the truth, they have to get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you ask me for truth, I want it.
No, sometimes I will tell you, don't ask me that. I won't lie. I'll say, I don't want to talk to you about that. And the second reason why I don't like to talk about that is because when you do, you're divulging another person's business too.
Okay, so are we talking in dating or in a relationship?
Oh, either one.
Oh, interesting.
Either one.
Relationship is this a committed?
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a committed relationship.
A committed one.
Yeah, I haven't engaged in any open relationship, so don't get
But you're not in a relationship.
Right. That's right.
So you're saying not being in a relationship, you don't want other women to ask you about the other women you're dating, and I guess that's fair.
Right,
me being single means that I don't care about any women, and that's the furthest thing from the truth.
Oh no, I don't think that. I'm just trying to get the perspective.
But there are women that think like that. I do think there are women that think that way. It's hard not to think, how women should think. I think, and I know people aren't going to agree with all of this, but I'm just going to say my personal feeling is when you're dating someone, you should assume they're seeing other people.
Facts.
Period. Don't assume. I don't care how much time he spends with you and it looks like he's only seeing you. Don't read into it. Always assume he's seeing other people unless you've had the conversation that you're not.
Yeah.
And I may be totally wrong, but that's how I feel, because then your feelings aren't hurt when it comes out that they may be or won't be, because you always felt that way from the beginning.
Right.
And when you have that conversation, now, I think this came up in our last he said, she said over, do you tell somebody or do you have a conversation that you're in a relationship? But I do think some conversation has to be said so we're all on the same page. I'm not assuming you only seeing me and you're not, that there's some conversation has to go on for us to say now we're exclusive, because then I probably will have different expectations of us being exclusive than I did when we were just dating.
Right.
I mean, I don't know I know some people feel we're dating and we only see each other while we're dating.
And it's funny. I met a guy. I'm not sure when.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Long time ago was the best way to
Long time ago. Or last week.
Right. And he has said that. He was like, if we were to date, I'm telling you now, you can only date me.
I had someone tell me that too.
Regardless of if we become, more, I'm not willing to let you date other people.
That's fair. I'm glad he told you that.
At least he
Upfront.
asked up front.
Up front, and I respect. I mean,
Everybody
I couldn't
moves
help.
differently.
Mhm.
What did you decide to do? What did
Didn't
you
work
say?
from my life. But
Now, would that encourage somebody to lie to the person? Okay, I'm just saying you, or not you. I know
That's
that
too
wasn't
early
you.
in the game to be lying right then. So
But
you
you
ain't lying
I
on
do
the
think
team.
people would though, like they feel set up to lie to you because I do want to date you, but I don't really want to date you exclusively.
And
so,
then maybe it's,
do you
again,
think
and
people?
maybe
You
it's
think
my
people
age.
won't
I
lie
feel
about
like
that?
I'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
be
yeah.
honest.
People lie about anything.
Agreed.
People
Agreed.
will lie about anything, but I don't like telling other people's business. I don't like getting caught up in all of that. I used to date a young lady a while back, and I had tremendous feelings for her, and I believe she had tremendous feelings for me. But she used to say to me every once in a while, I'm just like you. And I used to try to make her tell me what she meant by that, and she would never tell me, but I know what she meant by that. I know what she meant by that. That how she moves is the same way that I move. But we live in a society, and she know that how I was set up. That if she said that aloud to me, that I would feel like how she felt about me wasn't what she was saying it was. And really, and I can look back on it. So many years have gone by. No matter what she was doing, she had tremendous feelings for me. But for me to be able to say that and be comfortable with that inside of a relationship with her, I probably could not have. But right now, standing just being honest, being a grown man, that woman had tremendous feelings. I don't care what she did with whoever else that I don't know
And
about.
you know
what's
and that's is with a lot of my couples. We have to talk about that. Is one, being honest with yourself, not making assumptions about what's happening for the other person, where they are, what's going on, and really being fair in you all space is really important, because you don't have to lie. And if you can work with your own stuff first, then what somebody else says, one, doesn't have to have anything to do with you. And two, you can take that information in such a different way and be able to probably even make the relationship healthier, because you guys are working from a mindset of just basic honesty.
Because do you feel it's not necessarily healthy? I don't know if that's the word, but is it right? I don't like right and wrong either. So fill in that word, what I mean, because you'll get it once I finish this. To determine for yourself that I don't want to tell them, or I'm going to lie because I don't want them to be hurt. To make that decision for someone, not to tell them something because you fear the outcome after I tell them. I don't want to deal with, they may take it this way, so you know what, I'm not going to tell them. Is that the right way to handle it?
Person getting cheated on doesn't think so.
Right.
But the person doing the cheating.
What's the
most that part wasn't important when we committed. So there are so many steps. I had to meet you, talk to you, take the clothes off, penetrate. We got a lot of steps of choices. It's a lot of choices that were made when we actually got to cheat. We could have stopped in multiple intersections. So you weren't worried about somebody being hurt in all them steps.
I'm sitting here right now. I heard Cressy say she's at a place in her life where she don't want to be a side chick. She want to protect other women. I like her. I got a woman. I don't want to tell her that. She just told me all the information and let me know that if I come to her and be like, yo, I got a woman, but I still want to meet you, that she's going to be like, beat it. She's going to,
not happening.
And feel like, not even see me the same as a person after that. Not only does she not want to date me, but she like, that dude, I thought he was, but he's a clown, type of thing. So now what?
So what would you do? Not you, per se.
I go break up with my
typical
girlfriend.
male.
Hey.
No, you're not. You're going to do it anyway.
But
What would a guy do?
But this
Not
is
a
the
typical
dilemma
guy
right
is going to
now.
lie. He going to.
And that's the dilemma
I like
right
Cressy.
That's the dilemma right now with, I think, starting anything. I'm like, the likelihood, if I'm being genuine and I'm honest, that means you probably aren't. Because what I'm telling you, you probably don't want to hear. And a lot of people are not comfortable with that truth. And
we like who we like.
Mm-hmm.
Do so many, I think now, because cheating is trending, I think you can tell a woman I have a woman and they still see you nowadays.
You can, some.
Yeah,
just
some.
not
I
Cressy
think that's
and Wanda.
going a little bit.
Just not Cressy
Not
and
me.
Wanda.
But
and some people.
I didn't say I would. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Let's
No,
talk about Can you
I'm
live
not
with
saying I would.
a guy having a woman? Maybe.
You know what? At this point in my life, I think you get to a point where I'm not good at sharing no more, and I'll drive you crazy. I warned them that I'm not going to be able not to ask you. I'm just that nosy. I'm like, you did what with who? Now, you know what? Now it's better for the guy that he not try to involve me with his woman, because I will make his life miserable, because now I'm at a different place. So unfortunately, or fortunately, that's not what I would want to do for myself. But I respect him telling me, though, because I respect the honesty. I love honesty. I wouldn't judge him that he was this kind of guy for asking me. I think I respect the honesty, because then you allow me to make a choice.
Right. And
I don't like when you take away my choices. That's when I'm a judge.
Be honest, so I can pick. To give me my choice. Don't take it from me. That's huge to me. Is be upfront. I can handle it. Maybe some women, and I get that women can't handle the truth thing. Many can't.
No, you said many can't.
No,
many
I'm
can't.
not. I don't.
I mean, your experiences with, or your friends.
I don't believe in saying you couldn't handle the truth. Just because a person don't like the truth, don't mean they couldn't handle it. I don't. You know, that's what we say to make a person feel bad for responding to something in the way they don't like it. So I don't subscribe to that. But I just, again, not to get off subject, but when I look at the bigger picture and the bigger world that we live in, a lot of times information is being withheld from people, and we live with it every day. Your employer, whoever the president at the time, they decide this is classified. You don't need to know this. And I think I need to know all of it. I don't think they should be able to say nothing is too big for me to know about it. And I live in this country and it all affects us. But ultimately, in a lot of situations, you know, information is being held back. And so where do you draw the line? Who is drawing these lines?
I think in a committed relationship, and again, committed not necessarily meaning monogamy.
Right.
In a committed relationship, there is no line. All communication is valid and important and required. All of it. In a committed relationship.
In a committed relationship. And I agree with you, in a committed relationship. Now, if there is no commitment, you getting this false because we're dating or we are intimate, that now you have some tie to this person or hold on them, you just don't. Unfortunately, you could be intimate with someone who still wants to see other people and be intimate with other people too. And you can't make this pretend, or not pretend, but this pretend relationship with someone that isn't really there just based on being intimate with them. That's why if you can't handle being intimate, maybe you shouldn't do that either. Because there are some people whose emotions get so tied into being intimate with people that they feel like, I was with you, so now you are mine.
That's it.
Now, who else are you seeing? We're it. Because now we've been intimate, and you seeing who on Friday and who, I know you single, but you sleeping with me.
Where did these feelings of ownership and possessiveness come from? And I have them, but I question things about myself. I don't just accept whatever I think or whatever I've been doing for the last 40 years. Sometimes I ask myself questions, and I think it's training and conditioning. I think I was trained to want to own and possess. I was trained to feel more like you love me more if you're not doing anything else. I was trained to feel like if you're only with me, that means more than if you're mainly with me. And so that's how we approach it.
Is it okay to be okay with what you're trained and conditioned to do? I mean, if once you research it and thought to yourself, why do I feel this way? I feel this way because of this, but I'm okay because I believe in what I feel.
I'm not against it. I just think that most people have never tested it. If you're happy with that, if you have seen what life has to offer and this is what you like, that's what you like. I don't have a word to say about it. Everybody's different. Do your thing. But I think so many people are just doing it because they're conditioned to, and it doesn't make them happy. So many people are doing a lot of things they're conditioned to. We're trained to go get a job and work for 50 years. Well, my mind doesn't like that idea. My mind wants to vacation and kick it and sleep late. And so when people say, I've been at the same job for 50 years, I don't look at them and say, wow, you're such a stable, wonderful person. I think to myself, like, hey, that's a long time to be doing the same routine.
Like you say, we're all different. And some people really feel that they're proud of their loyalty. They're proud of that they have stayed committed.
I'm not
committed to something. Right. We're just yes, we're all so different.
You've been helping that other person get rich for 50 years. I'm not upset a person who goes to another job and gets a higher salary and moves around. Some people say that person move around, they unstable. that's how I made more money when I was in the workforce. And I got my first job, and then 6 months later, I used that experience to leverage it to get 10 more thousand. And then I worked there 7 months, and I used that to leverage.
When I would like to say, like you mentioned, the experiences make you think of something and do something different. When I said, well, I wouldn't want now to be a side chick, I don't not have experience with somebody coming to me and saying I'm in a relationship and doing it, and now seeing that outcome, how I felt, how I responded, was that healthy for me? How did I respond? Would I want to do something different based on the results of doing it that way before? Okay. So I think that's more where I'm coming from, is that it's not that I haven't had the experience in making this decision. It's actually living the experience and coming out on the other side and saying, wow. So why did I do it? Why did I choose to do it? And when I realized why I chose to do it, wasn't from a healthy space.
So if I meet a woman, I'm in a relationship, I don't tell her. The next 6 months goes how it goes. At the end of that 6 months, she feels good about how often we talk. She feels good about how often we see each other. She feels good about everything that we do while we're spending time together. Mm-hmm. And then she finds out that I have somebody else. But prior to her finding out that I had somebody else, everything was great and everything was good.
Mm-hmm. And that's a common occurrence.
Is it the training that makes you now be like, I can't do that, when you were really happy in that situation? But because we say we don't want that, now you have to question all that happiness, and you have to unravel everything, or say it's because he lied, and that's why.
It is because he lied. He lied. I think that's it. Hey, Gina Lamar. I mean, and I'll bring you in.
He lied.
You lied. He lied.
He lied.
So if you lie about this, is that now you've raised doubt. Right. What else do you lie about?
What else do you lie about? It has
nothing to do that this situation does or does not work for me. It's a lot. It's more that now you put so much doubt in me. I trusted you. I trusted what you had, and then now, is he a liar? It's the doubt. It's
because
not
it
that
wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary, because maybe if you said that in the beginning, she would have still. You don't know the outcome of that if you were just honest in the beginning. You just don't know.
I can think of some women who, if they was doing something, they was honest, it
wouldn't
go good.
Then maybe it's the wrong woman for you.
No. I didn't experience it. I don't know if they did anything or not. I'm just saying, if they didn't, and I was happy in the situation, I'm not sitting around somewhere mad they didn't tell me.
That happens a lot, though. And let's talk about that. You all on Facebook, on that one particular topic of a guy not telling you that he is seeing someone, and then and you're happy. You two are happy. Everything is going along good. And you find out 6 months later that he has been seeing other people, but it hasn't really affected your life. I'd love to know what you all think, because I think that happens so much on both sides, men and women. So don't think I'm just picking on guys. Tell me from both sides. And I see you all commenting. We're going to take a quick break, but I want to get back to what you said, Nemia. After the break, we're going to come back about the difference between monogamy and commitment. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute. I'm going to play this.
Bab Savage and Savage Entertainment presents Soul Smash Chicago. London, Philly, and Chicago come together to bring you the Soul Smash of the summer.
Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m.
Doors open at 6 at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 King Drive.
Starring the Delphonics,
Maurice Jackson's Independence,
Bab Savage,
Ricky Rainbow and the Empress of Funk, Theo. Bab Savage and Savage Entertainment presents Soul Smash Chicago. London, Philly, and Chicago come together to bring you the Soul Smash of the summer.
Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m.
Doors open at 6 at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 King Drive.
Starring the Delphonics,
Maurice Jackson's Independence,
Bab Savage,
Ricky Rainbow and the Empress of Funk. Theo Huff. KTP Band.
And just added Chicago's own public announcement.
Tickets are available at Eventbrite.
All My Currency exchanges.
The 3 locations of Dress to Impress.
And badsavage.com.
And we're offering great discounts off our tickets with your early bird promotion if you buy before the 19th of July. It's Soul Smash Chicago.
Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m.
At the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 King Drive.
You all who are Facebook who watch in the middle while we are transitioning.
We ain't gonna do nothing.
One round here.
We have one more here.
Baby.
We're here with my right hand man to my left and Yatu's here every week with us, holding down the he's on he said, she said, and my friend Gina Lamar.
Hey, Wanda.
He's one of my idols who was here at Intellectual Radio when I started, and one of the reasons why I loved coming here to IntellectualRadio.com. So I have Gina here with me today.
Hey. Thank you for having me to come in and talk about what he said.
What he said.
Right. Because I agree with everything she said.
Lord have mercy. Of course women agree.
No, it's not. We don't all agree. In fact, if you're listening on Facebook, if you don't agree with the ladies and you're a lady, let us know that too.
Jump
on
all
Facebook
over it.
Live. And then if you're listening on IntellectualRadio.com or Spreaker or iTunes, you can call in 708-223-8953 and tell us what you think on the topic. So what came up, Gina, as we're talking about cheating and trending, and we'll bring in STIs? What came up is, what is the difference between commitments? Oh, you better get a good picture of me. I'm going to say this in the middle. What is the difference between
Did you make me stand? Right.
Commitment and monogamy? A lot of people are asking, we keep talking about it as if those two things are independent and different. Cressy, let's start off with you. What is different about those two things?
So even in a committed relationship, I can be committed to the goals that we have set for. Building, investing, our family, our values, our whatever we've agreed on. I can also be committed to whatever agreements we made around sex.
Right.
Whether it's other people, whether it's threesomes, groups, swinging, whatever we've agreed to, that is my commitment. My commitment is to that. Okay. So that's how I look at it. So if I'm committed to cooking you dinner 7 nights a week, that's a commitment. And when I break that commitment, we have an issue in the relationship. So the commitment doesn't have to be, monogamy is not the only piece of commitment. Commitment has a lot of aspects and layers to it.
And different types.
So I guess
different types of commitment.
You can commit to being honest.
Exactly. Commitment to, I slept with somebody else last night.
Or I want to sleep with somebody else tomorrow night.
Right. And commitment to that honesty. The ability to talk about those things. So no, monogamy does not, and commitment are not together. Commitment is just what we've agreed to, the rules that we've set forth, and coming together to go, I'm an individual, but now I'm coming together as a union. What does our union look like? What are the rules to our union?
So would that help people to not be cheated on, to have more committed relationships instead of monogamous ones? Would that change anything?
First of all, I guess I just want to jump in here and say I love honesty. That sounds great, but in my field, continuously, it's because people aren't honest, right?
Yes.
So the STIs are being spread not because in the middle of sex you say, hey, I had unprotected sex with someone else, right?
Right.
We don't have 30,000 cases of chlamydia in the city of Chicago alone and surrounding areas with people doing what you all are talking about. Oh, I can be honest. You know how many times I've been doing these relationship chats and everybody swears? I keep it 100. I'm honest. I'm real. That's not what the numbers are saying, right? It's kind of like birth control. When women say, I take my pill every single day, yet you got pregnant. The pill is 99.9% effective. Wanda already beat you to that 0.001 because she got pregnant taking her pill every single day, right?
Okay, the double up, they don't matter.
No, the double. See, thank you. Now that's honesty, right? At least say you doubled up.
Kids from the double
you
up day.
From the double up day, right? So that's all I'm saying. Like, it sounds great, and you say, "Oh, I'm committed to this," but and sounds like, "Oh, if we agree that we're going to be honest with each other," but what I keep seeing is that we're not necessarily being honest.
I agree. Oh, I see it in my practice. I mean, in the infidelity, the rampant if you're not honest.
Right.
I see it, and I'm not practicing. Everybody's not honest.
And what I think is
You're
that
not
you
practicing
keep saying-
honesty. What are you not practicing?
Oh, that
I'm
was a good
practicing
one.
being single and dating, and I run into women and guys who are not honest with their spouse or mate about what they want to do and or what they're doing.
Right.
And I guess it's interesting when you keep saying, people say, I'm honest and I want to keep it honest and be real. What does that really look like, right? Because people lie by omission. So,
I bet you don't feel that's lying though, because like you just said, I don't want her to ask me.
No, I'm
So you're
not saying I don't feel like it's lying. I'm
asking.
When I meet people, I tell them how I am, and you can choose to or choose to not deal with me.
How
this
are
is how
you,
I move.
How are you?
I enjoy my freedom tremendously. I love being able to meet people, talk to people, interact with people. This is how I learn about every new
sounds great and innocent.
Yeah,
I don't care about you meeting and talking to people.
Okay,
I don't care about you taking other people out. I care about you
connections.
having sex with other
Sometimes
people.
that leads to connections, and sometimes that could possibly lead to sex. Do I want to discuss every detail of my life with every woman that I date or like? No, and I tell them that in the beginning that, hey, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the other things I'm doing. I want to spend this time getting to know you, and a person can deal with that and or not. I mean, people say, "Oh," and
correct me if I'm right, because what I feel like is when I'm with you,
I'm right.
if I'm with you, when I'm with you, I'm with you. We'll need to talk about that. Mm-hmm. When I'm with you, I'm with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Correct me since I'm right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay if you tell me up front.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I say right from the beginning, because I don't want to be discussing this a whole lot later on down the line. So I try to say this right from the beginning.
This? And why is she study texting, right?
Absolutely. I don't want to be
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to have that discussion. I think it's a waste. I think so many people are not enjoying the moment that they're in right now. Career-wise, relationship-wise, festival-wise, whatever you're doing right now, a lot of people are not enjoying it right now. You know why?
Because
they worry about what's going on the next moment.
What's going to happen?
What might I do?
Correct.
6 months from now.
That much I totally agree.
If we got married, if I tell you, you know what? I thought I like being single, but since I met you, I just have no desire to be single anymore. And we could rock like that for 6 months, or we could rock like that for 10 years. And then on the 10th year in one day, I don't feel that way anymore. And that could change.
May I ask this though? Because that is one of the things that we talk about. And it's usually with side chicks though. The conversation comes up though. Do I have a right to renegotiate this relationship?
Absolutely. I mean, because we grow and change, period. Or even as an individual, who you are, where you are,
evolve,
what mattered to you. And even regular friendships have changed
over
the years.
So when you tell me, when I initially meet you and you say you're single and you like to mingle, and I say, come to Monday Night Mingle, we can do that. But that's one thing. But then after a while, when I say, you said you're single and you like to mingle, but you keep spending we've spent 4 nights a week this week together. Mm-hmm. We're together. You bought me a drink. You had unprotected sex with me. Clearly, we're a couple. Mm-hmm. In your world, you're like, no, we're still single. I'm still single and mingling. So at what point do I get to say, I'd like to take this further?
You can say it whenever you want to. You can say it whenever you want. I might. No, see, and that's the other thing about it. People are really caught up in promises. And what I've learned is the reason why people say they want a promise because they want to be clear about where they're going. And I understand the logic behind that. But I really believe that the promise, the real reason why people want a promise and hold on to a promise is not because that they believe that person will never possibly break the promise. It gives you permission to punish if a person does break the promise or hold them accountable.
I like
so
that.
I dated a young lady that I liked a whole lot, but I knew that sometimes things change. And so I refused to promise monogamy to that young lady. But
very nice.
I ended up being monogamous for over almost 2 years just without promising it, because on a daily basis when I woke up and I considered all my options, I wanted to be with her
being that option
more than anybody else.
That's
and so is that a less of a relationship because I didn't promise it, but I was doing it? I think that's more pure than people doing it because they promise it, and then you change your mind and you only doing it because you promised, or you only pretending to do it, which is more the case.
I mean, like I said from the beginning, it's important to know you, to be accountable to yourself first. There's no way, be honest with what you are, where you are, what's going on, or don't do the relationship.
Well, that when you say about the honesty thing, that's my joke all the time. I say to my girlfriends, that's what girlfriends are for. You can lie to me. Please don't lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
he hasn't been
Right.
home in a week.
No, right.
You know. And so when I ask and I say to my friends and talk about the
I like
STIs,
that.
no,
Don't
but
lie
with
to
the
yourself.
STIs, and I said, you got it. The least you can do is be honest with you. That's what girlfriends are for. You welcome to tell me that lie. Go ahead. I'll joke with you, say you wasted it, whatever. But I say it when I know some things are happening, and I say, hey, put him back on condom duty. Tell him to use a condom. I'm not asking my husband or my man to use no condom. You just been doing the HIV stuff too long. I said, no. You can call me at 2:15 and ask me to watch your kids while you go look for him. But I can't ask you to you can't ask him to use a condom, but you can call me. So now you feel like I'm being intrusive in your relationship. You included me at 2:15 when I had to come watch the baby so you could go look for him. You brought me into this.
Call
right?
your therapist next time that happens.
You got it. You got it.
Call me.
Right.
I can help you.
I'm
You
teasing.
got
I'm
it.
teasing.
And that's what I'm saying. So those little things, and all I ever say, honestly, it ended up being relationship chats when I say I talk about sex for a living, because the main mode of transmission for HIV continues to be unprotected sex, not perinatal transmission, not IV drug usage, right? Even IV drug users know, go give me some new needles at Walgreens. We have a needle exchange program in the state of Illinois. Perinatal transmission. If we know a mom is pregnant, we're testing her first and third trimester. We're passing meds. If we don't know the status, babies are being born negative. I keep a job because you want it raw.
Wait,
You got it.
Wait, not me. Well, not all the time.
I keep a job because of unprotected sex, right?
And
that's what happens.
Don't do that.
You got it, of course. That's what you get for being
We
the other
like
he
it
in the
raw.
room. That's what happens when you're the other he in the room, right? Usually throw under the bus, but you're the other he in the room. And I say that because we know what happens. I will grant you that too, because when you know. Women know when men are not using a condom. Yep. We know when the condom is broken. Yep. We know when you didn't put it on. We know all of that.
Yep.
So we do. Oh my gosh, we played a role.
No. I'm not saying that I think you're not. But I just was reading something about stealthing, and they saying that all these guys are stealthing. So I don't have a vagina. I don't know.
Yeah.
We know, no matter what.
Difference. We know the difference.
So
We know the difference in the groove.
And then
we know and everything. We're like, whoa, that groove is getting great, right? But no. Always in the state of Illinois, you don't have to tell me you have HIV as long as you use a condom.
What?
That's right. I don't have to. You do not have to share your status in the state of Illinois, because HIV is a state law thing, right? So as long as you have a condom, you meet somebody new in the bar tonight, sipping on Sunday, you meet somebody new in the bar, they're infected with HIV, infected with HIV, they do not have to tell you their status as long as you use a condom. But what do we just say? We know when that condom breaks, because the groove gets better, right? So people say, oh, then you have to tell me. Well, yeah. Then we have to have the conversation. You got it. They may or may not. But that's just the part that while we enjoy these conversations, because we're just talking about sex, that's what happens. And those little lies and those inabilities to have those types of conversation. And I know it, two things.
To give me a choice.
Which
is what, back to the beginning. Just give me the choice.
Tony Brand said women not all, can't deal with the truth. That doesn't mean that they have to agree with what men say and do, but avoiding the truth is a woman's way to fake happiness. A lot of women would prefer to live a lie than deal with the truth.
I read that, and I can't subscribe to that.
You believe that?
That's a guy.
Sorry, guys.
I do not.
That's a guy.
Now, I came in with that first line of I believe all the women.
Well, what does it mean when you say a woman can't deal with the truth? What does that mean? Because you don't like it, that means you can't deal with it?
Not just me. Not just me, because I think that I can, right? But most women can't. And you think that because
until you hear it.
And then when you do hear the truth, you literally start trying to change my mind. Well, I told you I got with Wanda and I want to be with her. Well, why do you want to be with her? Well, what does she have? Well, if we can handle the truth, just deal with the truth. Now we have to go through all the back and forth.
I want to hear what you mean by can't handle it. They don't like the truth?
They don't like the truth. I agree with that statement. We do. We lie. What's my line? We lie to ourselves. And we lie to ourselves so much that by the time some people get out of relationships, when they really look back and they go, I knew that wasn't working about 6 months before that happened. I shouldn't have married him. I kind of knew I shouldn't have married her.
You don't believe that, Chrissy, or what are you saying?
I hear it. I get it. I completely get it. And I can only speak for me.
Myself. Absolutely.
For me. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. You might not like it, but I would rather us work with the truth and see what we can come and create from that than work from fantasy.
If we ever go together, Cresty, just break up with me. Don't tell me that you saw a dude yesterday and you got to have it. But I don't want to know that. Just break up with me.
Break up with me. Rules. You're gonna know all of everything that we're allowed to. If we're in a commitment again, everything that is allowed, that we can do, that we don't do. I know my mate. I know our conversation. So I'm gonna give you the truth the way we've already agreed to do. It's not gonna be some.
I feel like you're talking from happy, healthy relationships only.
I'm a therapist, so I
from happy, healthy relationships only, Chris.
But most are like what Gina's saying. I mean,
we're talking most times
right, and I'm trying to create in my world. I'm always wanting to create.
What did she just say? She just said that the person who chimed in said that we're creating this in our mind. He shows up every Tuesday. We together. Every Tuesday, I see him.
Now, if I show up on Thursdays, we are together. But Tuesday,
right. Every Tuesday. And so we do that. We know the number of people who say it. And I say it to people all the time. Hey, does he use a regular toothbrush or electric? Well, what do you mean? You haven't even been in his space. We as women allow men into our lives, over our children, with our family. He meeting our best friends. I don't even know if he has
my toothbrush is electric. You don't have to come to my house to know that.
Do not come in Yatu phone.
There's no need.
But
once we answer those
have to
questions,
blindfold you.
I mean,
hit you with the chloroform.
Up when and I guess, and again, I'm gonna speak from if we start from dating honestly.
Right. I meet you in the club. Clearly, the liquor is talking. He's not telling me he got 6 kids with 7 baby mamas.
I hear you.
In the club.
I hear you. So, but. That's just meeting. We ain't even dating yet then either.
Yes.
I just met you. You don't owe me nothing. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you tell me, actually. But once we say we're dating, at this point, there should begin to be conversations around who we are, what do we bring into the table? How does it look? So that if we decide to be committed, we can do healthy and happy consistently because I didn't lie to you the first 6 months.
Can I just say the courts, watch all the courts in the afternoon. They're totally filled with two things. People who were unable to discuss the F's and the F's. And we're on the intellectual radio,
finances.
So we have to say no profanity zones. So we're going to say freaking and finances.
Right.
We can't talk about freaking and finances, right? I can't talk to you about sex. I can't talk to you about, are you seeing anybody else? Because I don't want to hear that answer. And definitely, I want to talk to you about you got it. And I don't want to talk to you about your finances, because then that's how we end up. He couldn't get a cell phone. Who can't get a cell phone these days? But a 12-year-old can get a cell phone. So if he couldn't get a cell phone, and not him, this time I'm not talking about him.
Our resident
I'm talking about him. That's him, right?
We're talking about our super producer.
You got it. You couldn't get a cell phone. That's your first sign. Put a bill like that in your name, right? You know, now again, why do women put cell phones in their name for you? What? I mean, not you, but not for you. But why did for men? Come on, you're the he and the he.
You gotta be the he. Because I need her to.
No, but why else? Why do we immediately that's a bill you could run up $600 or $700, right?
So she can look at the bill and see who I'm calling and talking to.
I can see whose number is
because the sex is good.
777-9311. Thank you.
Because the sex is good.
If that's what we got, I don't want it.
Of course. But again, you're on the happy, healthy side, right?
I don't want nothing. I don't want your cell phone.
You know
if
what?
I got your cell phone, cool. If that's part of our rule, if we come to the conclusion, I'm going to hold the cell phone because it's financially smart for me to do, fine.
No, I'm talking about I just met you and I can't call you, so now I'm going to get you a cell phone so I can keep calling you.
How old are we still?
That's happening so 50, much.
At 50, look at the court. Pick
I have friends that it is happening to.
Pick an afternoon.
You got to pick a circle.
No, right. I'm saying pick an afternoon and watch those shows. They deal with those two things.
They don't have an unlimited plan.
Dog bites come up.
You got it. All those things come up. And so that's just one of the things, though. Like, we don't look at those things. We turn our head, baby. We will cover and close our eyes to everything.
Let me just, you know what? A long time ago, I met a young lady and it seemed like everything was cool. And then later on, I found out she was having some financial difficulties. And she came clean about the financial difficulties, but I wanted to be with her, so I didn't care. I helped her rebuild her credit. I put it on my bank accounts. I put it on my credit cards, and we turned that around.
She will put it on your credit card.
On your bank account. Wait a minute.
You said you were single.
You got it.
And you
You
put
put
it
on your account.
No, we got into a
Right.
relationship.
What?
No, we dated and we got into a relationship.
Oh, the
Here
relationship
we go with
part I
that
missed.
again.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
Oh,
Here we go.
okay.
I said a long.
You know, I'm in a relationship. We see each other every Tuesday, so you know.
I was for
right.
real in a relationship then. I was
Yeah.
listening to Wu-Tang and I wanted the wisdom. I wanted the life, and I thought being a good guy was gonna be.
Anemia Ward said, again, we are giving men excuses for not being, Anemia is part of our He Said, She Said team here on IntellectualRadio.com. She said, we're giving men excuses for not being comfortable with dealing with honesty.
Well, I want to chime in on something else she said. She also said that it was a stretch to pull monogamy out of commitment. And so people have to understand what the word means.
Monogamy.
Yeah, monogamy means. So a monogamous relationship and a committed relationship are not always synonymous, because there are swingers, because there are people in polyamorous relationship, because there are people who
lifestyle people. Because Granddaddy had another family on the other side of town, and he spent every Christmas Eve with them. And we've known that. Right? And everybody wants to clutch their pearls at the funeral.
Absolutely.
But we knew Granddaddy was never at the house on Christmas Eve. He's always with some other family, but he provided for everybody, and Grandma knew about it. You're like, Grandma, you didn't know about
Sometimes
this.
Grandma went to see a man about a dog.
You got it. You got it. That's why.
Sometimes
You know,
Grandma
you
went to see a
got green
man about a
eyes,
dog.
and all the rest of us got brown eyes.
And I wanna add even to Naima's comment about
Nina.
I think as women too, I think women and men are not honest. It's not just men.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Women are able to do affairs so much better than men. I mean, just physiologically, there are a couple of reasons, right? You've been going all day with some 19-year-old. You come home, you can't go like we can go, right? We've been going all day with some 19-year-old little Lou. We can keep going.
And I'm gonna say and then do him.
You got it. You got it. Then
I don't have that problem.
I'm just saying, not you, but I'm saying you come home, and then so those things happen, right? And I'm just physiologically, right? So we have those things that are able to happen. Then we also, what's the song? Love and Happiness. Stay out all night, mess up. We do it and keep the schedule. Dinner is done by 6 o'clock. Kids are in the bed, and we had a full.
Men cannot.
We can't.
You can't get up. Could you get up?
We can't multitask.
Yeah,
I'll give y'all a secret.
Behavior.
Men have trouble multitasking, whereas women can cook, clean, and a whole bunch of other stuff all at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Don't get it. But
I can't even talk on the phone and drive a car. I drive past the exit because I'm on the phone.
Thank you.
Or I don't hear nothing you said because I was paying attention to weaving through
I've
traffic.
always believed women are better cheaters.
Experts said that there's an increase in women cheating even more due to greater opportunities, time spent away from their spouses working, that they're financially, now that they're making more, is causing them to feel even bolder with cheating. So it's becoming more and more prominent for women to land of the cheater.
And with social media being added, the new dating app, the
Facebook chat rooms,
high
social
school
media,
friends,
internet,
Facebook dating app.
Yeah.
Facebook is the dating app itself. Facebook, yes.
Well,
I just want to say this though. It's kind of like when I come to your church, you invite me out to your church to do the HIV talk. Could you come talk to the kids? I'm like, can I talk to the adults? That's the first thing. Then when you say, can you just talk about, abstinence only? And I'm going, of course, if I need all the unwed moms to step out.
Right.
I need only
The room will be
moms.
empty.
Right. I need all the unwed moms to step out. So when we're looking at all those different things, we just have to, with the cheating, I don't care. And I tell them, you save their souls. I need to save their lives, right? I need to let them know they have options, how to use a condom, when to use a condom every single time, and when to question things, right? Have tough conversations. You can love. It's called thug love. You go in and out of jail, your boyfriend's in and out of jail, there's a risk factor, right? Your boyfriend's tatted from the rooter to the tutor. At house parties, that's a risk factor between Hep C and HIV, needle sharing, right? So I just need you to get the basic facts about HIV, because while you're doing what every other 19-year-old does, falls in love, says they're going to be together, and then wants to start having unprotected sex because we think we've been together, having sex every day for 3 weeks. Now we're that 3 weeks.
Take you there, baby.
We'll take you there, So I just want us to put those things together, because at the end of the day, while she wants you to have a healthy relationship, I want you to have healthy relations.
Okay,
That
we're
too.
going to go into that
That
a little
too.
bit more. This segment of He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com is sponsored by Joey Logan. Called me and said, Gina, we're going to be on your show. You
Of course, Logan Investigations.
And so
773-294-5129. Don't ask how I know the number forever. Right.
and he has a Windy City 3-wall brawl presented by Splathead. Is coming up August 4th through 6th at Rainbow Beach, 3111 East 77th Street. So he wants you to come out to his racquetball tournament.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yes, it's a racquetball. I know,
like,
the
what is wall
Windy
brawl?
City 3-wall brawl.
Can I please just very quickly tell you
Please
something
do.
hilarious about that?
Please
An
do.
auto check last year, and I still have it on my phone. I was there and I go at the racquetball tournament, you know, Monday Night Mingles was a sponsor last year out here, and I was saying ducking balls because it's racquetball. Why did my phone autocorrect?
Effing balls?
No, sucking balls with an S, not an S. And I go, and then people, what do people say? What do people say? Oh, that's what your phone usually types. No, it does not. I promise you, it does not.
Yeah, I don't know, because the phone does go with
last year, that was a really great tournament. It really was. And it's done in the neighborhood at Rainbow Beach, right? So black folks even know those courts are over there. So it was really nice. Yeah.
So come out, you guys, August. You can contact Joey to get your tickets or to join 773-294-5129. Is that the number you have?
Yes, 773-294-5129.
All right. Or Joey JF17 at AOL.com if you want to reach him and come to his mutual friend of ours. I went to high school, grew up in the neighborhood, and we went to high school. I went to all boys school.
Right.
And
you're telling us something, that's another segment. He went to Brother Rice.
And I went to Mother Macaulay.
Oh,
So
Lord.
neighboring schools. And
Right.
beat me up on the way home from school.
No.
So I got that's a whole nother show, bullying.
Too funny.
We'll bring that up later. So you are listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We've been talking about, and I think we're going to segue this into, first off, I want to know, why did they change STDs to STIs? When did that happen? And what is this?
So there are a couple of things. And there are a couple of physicians who are still trying to fight it. Like I corrected a physician a couple of months ago. And he goes, well, there's really nothing on that. Well, the CDC, which is what we use as our guideline, right, changed disease to infection because they're curable. Right? So a disease process, there's no cure for cancer. There's no cure for HIV. So there are different things and there's a process. But an infection, you can take some antibiotics and be done. So STIs are sexually transmitted infections. We can cure gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis, right? If you take your meds, come get your shot and do what you're supposed to do. And not, very quickly, a guy came in to get treated for gonorrhea and then asked me the question, can I shoot it into her? Oh, and so I said,
so he wouldn't have to tell us?
Say it. I'm glad you got it. Glad you got it.
I'm confused.
We had given him a shot to treat his gonorrhea.
Once he ejaculates.
He said, so can I shoot the medicine that you put into me into her? And
ejaculated antibiotics in her.
I ejaculate his antibiotics, honey.
Yeah. I want you to see. This is when we need a close up on that face, because that's the close up on the face. What? And I immediately caught it. You know why? His housing was tied to her. It was the middle of winter.
There it is.
He wasn't going to take her cheating. So I just knew right then and there, I could tell in his face that he was going to still try to do that himself. And so I thought, that'll be another infection. She'll be in.
She gave it to him.
No.
Well, let me just say this. What'll happen is that he will be treated, right? And so then when she finds that she's infected, they'll say, let's go get tested. And he'll say, see, I'm negative.
Got nothing.
And then I'll say, what I try to teach women all the time is ask for the track record. Has he been treated? When you want to ask honesty, hey, did you have something and did you get treated? Right. And so those are the types of things they may not ever be able to tell, but I want you to recognize that he could have had it and cheated. And at the end of the day, unless you're doing the cheating that women say they're doing and stuff, you haven't done anything else.
Why is somebody saying the screen is black for them?
The screen is black. What did I do?
Because we're black. There's nothing wrong with being black. Thank you very much.
What's wrong with a black screen?
There's nothing wrong with a black screen.
It's showing on my phone.
Say it out loud.
Mine is actually black too, though.
Well, I was wondering why yours was like that. I thought maybe because you had it face down.
Mine's showing.
I don't know. We'll work that out for you. Do you see?
No.
I don't care about blacks, but do I look thin? That's all I need to know.
Do I
thin me out? Right, you got it.
Okay, so STIs, we got why
because it's infection. Because it's an infection, and we can, and it's an infection, and we can cure it.
Oh, and
we can treat it. Right, we can treat it, and it can be gone. Like you don't have to do it all the time.
What about the ones that
herpes? Herpes is not
a disease.
Right, herpes is a disease process, right? Because it lies dormant in your nervous system. But gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, like, I don't know about you two, because you guys are a little younger. Me, Earl,
I'm
Kathy, and I know we're right there. What was the two things when we were younger? What were the two things we worried about when we were younger? Two things, and the other one.
Getting pregnant, and what's the other one?
VD. We didn't even know what it was. Like it was just like VD. Yeah. You didn't want to get VD. You know, Little Red Schoolhouse and stuff, right? Of course,
I don't think
it was like it was a venereal. Like you didn't know what venereal disease was. You got it. You got it. But now, unfortunately, our youth are dealing with HIV, which there is no cure, right? You know, we have HCV, which is the hepatitis that, you know, while it isn't transmitted.
HPV too.
HPV. Well, HPV can be sexually transmitted, but you can. It's a gene you can also have, and I really push for that because of the cervical cancer, right? And the oral cancer in men from eating kitties.
What'd you just say?
There's a surge in oral cancer for men who are having oral sex with women who have HPV, right? That's what Michael Douglas talked about it, right? Yes. That's why we have dental dams. And I walked out. I promise you,
I know y'all women, but bruh.
Yes.
This is so bruh.
What?
I want to bring up something.
I can get cancer.
A guy I know.
She's in the middle of trying to share her personal story about the guy who gave her HPV. I'm kidding.
What? Oh Lord, Gina!
Bet our ratings go up right then. Everybody's
ratings like, did you hear what she said?
Everybody starts tuning in.
No, that was just a joke.
Okay, of course. No, but it's a guy I know who his perspective is, why wear a condom? I'm gonna be eating if I'm gonna do oral, and I don't got nothing for that, and I'm gonna why I need.
Well, we do have that. It's called a dental dam,
but
everybody isn't using it, and everybody doesn't know about it. So yeah, that happens all the time. Yes.
When I'm putting a condom on.
I'm getting married.
Yeah,
I think that is
marriage.
They ruining
Okay, so here we go.
Ruining it.
What's my line for marriage? When I say I'm out testing at the big at Women Expo, and hey, come on, get tested, honey, I'm married. So was Cookie Johnson. Guess whose husband came home with HIV?
Well, I'm a man, and I get tested. I get tested every 3 to 4 months, and every time I go to the doctor,
Why are you getting tested every 3 to 4 months?
Because every time I go to the doctor,
commercial
why
sex
not?
workers are not getting tested that much.
Every time I go to the doctor,
How you know
I say
they're
test me.
Like who's testing you 2-3 months?
I say test me. Every time I go to the doctor, anything. If I go for a pimple, if I go for I hurt my arm.
You be like, check, I haven't been showing none.
See, that's when people make it. Okay, so there's this thing that people think because I'm the STI lady and stuff that I'm the condom lady.
Trying to be the opposite of guys who scared to find out. That's why.
Yeah, very good. And I appreciate that, you know, your status. When they keep saying they know it all the time, or they do this every month, and they're doing this, they're doing that, because people somehow or another think that I have all this access to your information. So, you know, you meet a new guy, and you go, Gina, I need you to look up this guy, Earl Winfrey, boom, boom, boom.
Does he got anything?
How about you just
here we
have a conversation with Earl?
Right.
Give it 90 days, like Steve Harvey, a.k.a. my daddy, your mama. Our parents taught us.
90 days.
Give it 5 minutes before you just start having sex with them. But I'm like, before I, you know, ruin my career looking up, breaching someone else's confidentiality, right? You know, going into his file, looking at some stuff. How about you just have a conversation?
And what does that say about you, though? Like, I just be true to yourself, like for real.
Lie to me,
right? Don't lie to yourself.
They email me my test results. I can show you. I can show you the last 2-3 years. I ain't lying. I'm just,
that's true.
He has a file on his.
Yeah, we do.
I had a question.
Yes.
We were talking about cheating and trending. Well, cheating, trending, and we mentioned not that it's maybe better for people to. I don't know if we said this is better, but this is what we talked about. Cheating and not telling their spouse and not letting them know. But then now comes bringing home these hidden things you bring
we all
home.
Cheat by omission until a baby pops up.
Right.
Until
Gonorrhea
HIV pops up. And so herpes pops up, right? Well, herpes is one that if you tested everybody in this room, we probably test positive for the exposure, right? You may not ever have breakouts.
Cold sores.
You got it. That's herpes.
Chickenpox is herpes.
Yes. Well, that's
chickenpox.
Yes. That's shingles.
It's
They're
a
all
form
a form of it.
It's a
Yes.
form.
It's all
That
a
I
form.
knew,
It's the
yeah.
body.
So we
Yes,
could
the
all
pox.
test
It's from the
positive
pox
if we've
family.
ever. Okay.
Absolutely. But the gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis, the HIV, trichomoniasis, right? All the tricks, those different things, all the tricks, right?
All the tricks.
Those are the things that everybody, of course, I didn't have sexual relations with that woman until you deny this, right? So you can't, there's some things you just can't get around. But that's just lying by omission, by saying, oh, I don't have to tell my spouse, and at the end of the day, come on. By the time when you really get honest about it, he ain't touched me in 3 weeks. He's not horny. He's having sex somewhere. I don't care.
Some guys are better at cheating than that, I think. Some guys are still.
That's what they swear.
What is your arm doing over there?
That's what keep me safe. I've been a good boy all year.
Let me just say this. Even if you're talking about masturbation, you can still do it next to me. And then I don't care who you are. Mad or not, you'll still have sex.
You'll still have, absolutely.
You will have sex, mad or not.
Well, I don't know, because
we've had sex.
a lot lately.
Please don't think because I'm saying your name, we speaking again.
I don't know,
angry sex is great, but sometimes people do hold back.
A lot more
and good for them.
Men hold out too.
It's called Bedroom Candy Affiliate Monday Night Mingle, right? Because we got toys.
Men hold out too, believe it or not. Some of us don't dive into every yes.
Yes, you really don't.
In fact, I say I don't indulge the majority of what I'm offering.
You see how
yes,
many?
They do.
You see
other guys.
When you catch women cheat, when you catch your man cheating, you like, that's what you did. I don't have a chance in heck. That's what you did.
I'm loving y'all's face today. It must be bewildered.
That is when we get the zoom in. That's when we need to zoom in.
And cheating is like Dennis. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 of these men
will go.
He'll go. Ass.
And
you got it.
Women.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm on the other side of this thing.
Absolutely. 4 out of 5. 3.
I'm on the other side of this thing.
4 out of 5 women too.
And let me tell you.
Women too.
I'm on the other side of this thing, and everyone you think ain't.
Agree with that 3 out of 5 is because we're in love with love, right? We want hope.
I know more faithful women being cheated on.
Yes. They ain't telling you.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not telling you that they're not being.
And some women don't because society makes it. I'm going to use because
I'm thinking too many women right now willing to just be the other.
Yes. I'm about to start selling side chicken shirts.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the woman that's married and looks at everybody else like they're happy.
Side chick insurance.
Our topic today is cheating trending. It's our topic. And I'm seeing more and more why I'm going with 4 out of 5 women because it is in.
The only reason I'm still saying I do know women are in love with love and they do try to hold out a little bit more. And I'm seeing them being sexually active far faster than they usually were. Yeah. But once they get into a relationship, they're all into him and stuff. And they're not necessarily, doing it. So that's the only reason I kind of would say women are trying, they don't. 3 out of 5. I'm with you on the 3 out of 5 because we fall in love with love, which is one of the things I always tell us. I'm okay with all these great words he says. Just follow his actions. Mm-hmm. Just follow his actions. I recently met a guy. Hope you're watching. Hope you're not watching. Recently met a guy whose opening line was, "Can I take you to dinner?" It's been 5 weeks. You haven't taken me to dinner. You keep calling. You've asked, can we go out for a drink? You've asked. One day I knew I needed to make a Walmart run, you to carry stuff. So I said, come on, let's run to breakfast, right? But again, I had to say to him, you've never done what you initially said you would like to do.
Right.
Take me to dinner. Make a plan.
In 5 weeks, but I know you eating.
You got it. You got it. That's all I have to say. And so I have to watch your actions versus your words. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not asking for marriage. I'm just asking you to do the basics on what you you're going to do.
This came up in the group the other day, and a lot of people don't know, but I'm a Cancer, and that makes me really moody, right?
Crabby Cancer.
It makes me moody. And between that and energy, determines whether or not I go out with a woman. It's my brain doesn't get to even make the decision. I might see you, think you're smart, like you, want to get to know you, and then the time comes around and my spirit is like, car accident on the way. If I go to this, everything in my body says don't go. Or I'm moody and I was in a great mood earlier today and I felt my mood switch and I don't want to inflict that on anybody. I go into my little shell.
Yeah, we have diazepam for that.
No,
what's the mood swing thing that we can get with mood swing? Don't you have a little something?
Flip twice in a day. Mostly goes is a couple of days, but mine is very frequent. It is never going to be a bad mood for 5 weeks or even a whole week. That just don't fly. But and so, and I don't believe in rushing. I want to get to know you somewhat over the phone before I go out with you. And if I thought that was going to happen by the time 2 weeks from now is, and it didn't, then I'm going to push that back. And it's not because I'm just trying to sleep with anybody, because I really find women to be, okay, think what you want.
I'm going to go over there.
Most men are like this. I find women to be a lot more valuable than just their vagina. I think the intelligence, the perspective, your life experience.
Well, come on, there's some of us that you just want to bang, period, and be done. That's okay you ain't trying to take me home. You ain't trying to think about it.
In all of this moment, I'm so weird.
All of this.
I will run for it. I will run for it. So if I meet you and it flies, but if you give me some time to think, nothing is happening. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's fair. And you know what? I wish more people would take 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, because I'm always bringing back to HIV and STIs, right? But the reality is, as I'm giving results, I can tell, I can see in people's faces, like, and not one person who's been infected or exposed has told me, but man, that was the bomb. It was worth it.
Definitely.
I'm okay with that. Thanks for that result. Every one of them, and you can just see the clock ticking, like, all I had to do was use a condom. All I had to do was see.
And now I gotta go tell her.
Now, what about
not if you use a condom in the state of Illinois?
That's
but let me just say this very quickly, because everybody running across the border to Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin. We have neighboring states. Iowa's doing very well now, but Michigan, Illinois, Indiana and Wisconsin, those are not HIV-friendly states. Criminalization, they're criminalization states. So please, we'll be doing a lunch and learn next Monday on July 24th about criminalization and HIV, right? And learning, like, when you have to tell, and we'll be giving continuing education credits. They're not trying. Oh, no, did you see? I do the segment on Fox every Monday with Darlene Hill, and we tested her, and we were talking about those numbers, right? And we said 25% of the people who don't know their status make up for 50% of new infections. We really do have people out here who don't know they're
getting tested all the time.
Okay, now that much might be the case, but that's everybody who says, I'm good, right? I'm good. I don't need to.
How you good going raw? I'm so confused.
Yeah, because I loved it, and I believed it.
Wait. Check this out.
Because he asked me,
Are condoms 100%? So
true.
Are condoms, Gina, you're the expert.
100%?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Nothing's 100%, right?
So
let me say this. But when used correctly and every single time, absolutely. I'd say condom usage over.
They tell you on the package is 99 points.
You got it.
Because they don't want to be liable.
So long as your numbers is low,
you got it.
Then you good, I guess. But if your numbers up there, then you're gonna bump into that.
And which numbers are you saying? You're not talking viral,
0.01%.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the number you haven't sex with. I was very okay. You threw me, right? So because one of the other things that we know, like when Charlie Sheen came out, right? Fox, come on. I was like, okay. I haven't slept with Charlie Sheen. Let's be clear, he hasn't slept with a lot of people. But I will say this, he's virally suppressed. And as long as he's taking his medication, he is less likely to spread the virus. So that's when you're saying your numbers are low. I just want to say that, but that's not the way the law reads. The law reads condom usage and oral sex, because we know those, that's so low that's your highest chance of protecting yourself from spreading the virus, right?
You can spread the virus through oral sex.
No, you don't. The numbers are really low, but you really can. Yes, you can get oral cancer from if you got HPV.
Man, that just sounds so wrong.
I'm just saying, wrap it up. Take 5 minutes. All kidding aside,
5 minutes. It's
no, I'm not saying you saying anything wrong.
I'm saying all kidding aside, like what she's saying. I'm joking with her about, you want happy, healthy, but take 5 minutes to do happy, healthy, or at least, if you're going to be straight up about it and I'm keeping it 100, Have a checklist. When was the last time you were tested? Why were you tested? What was that test result? You know, and if it was, you know, did you have an exposure right before that test result? Because that result is nothing. You got to go back 30 days after that. So those types of conversations, right? Those types of questions, you know, and take some time to get to know the person.
Just a couple days.
I asked several people who have children, and I asked this lots of times when I'm in mixed company for Monday Night Mingle and we're doing a room full of people. If you could choose your, and I do not like the term, your ex, the person you have a child with, if you could choose that person again, would you choose that same person to be the parent, to co-parent with? And so many, and then, you know, I'd say 90% say no, right? And I think the 10% are saying, have said it too. We've gotten to a place now that I would. But for the most part, so many people say, I would not choose him to be my child's father. He's so difficult to get along with. He's crabby. He's a Cancer. He's moody. He's like, no, I was counting. I was counting. He's crabby.
Loves me.
He's right. He's crabby. He's a Cancer. His mood swings. And we have to consistently parent. We can't parent on days you feel like being bothered, right? So that's the parenting part. But most people say, I wouldn't have chosen that. I wouldn't choose that partner. I say take a few more times to do it. Now, of course, on those Facebook pages, people are like, you can marry people and not know them.
I was with my son's mother for 5 years before we had a child.
Yeah. Then you have
found out some new stuff.
Yeah. But let's be clear. Knowing people is one thing, but also having to co-parent with them is a different thing.
Sure is.
We can date and kick it. That's why side chicks have such a great life.
That's why they ain't.
Look, that's why side chicks have such a great life, because we're just playing house. We don't have to. I don't have to put up with your bills. I don't have to put up with your. That's right.
You call me. I know my role. I'm good.
You got it. But now you want to start dealing. I have to deal with your triflingness. I have to deal with your inability to manage your money, because see, when I'm the side chick, you're spending it all on me. But when we're co-parenting,
we having fun, we just eating, we watching movies, we Netflix and chilling.
yes. Then I become the wife. I want you to take me out to dinner, to Red Lobster. Feed me good. I'll take you to Red Lobster. Hey.
Oh, you all have been hilarious. I love it. I want to thank my sponsors. We're running out of time. I'm sorry, y'all. Run out of time. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want you to go to the Soul Smash August 19th. The doors open at 6. It's at 7 o'clock. It's at Harold Washington Cultural Center, the Soul Smash Chicago with Babs Savage, the Delphonics, Independence, Ricky Rainbow and the Emperors of Funk, Public Announcement, and Theo Huff. That's August 19th. Get your tickets. You can go to any Dress to Impress location. You can go to any My Currency Exchange location to get tickets. And then you can also go to babsavage.com and get you some tickets, or go to Eventbrite and get some tickets to that. And then I want you to come out this Wednesday. We are going to do our He Said, She Said live. What we do at this table, we do live. A lot of people, we have food, fun, cocktails, conversation. We play big Uno. It's a big old Uno cards. We play, we have games. There's drink specials, and that's going to be at room 183. That's 4167 West 183rd Street in Country Club Hills this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Hope to see you there. Go see the Windy City Grays play tonight or Monday or Wednesday. If you're out in Orleans, it's Centennial Park tonight or tomorrow in Park Forest at Central Park, or on Wednesday, and then come by and see us. And then thank you, Joey. Thank you to our jump-in sponsor. Go to the Windy City 3-Wall Brawl and see some racquetball. Call 773-294-5129. And Yatu, how can they reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram, Marvelous Since 1974, SINCE.
Like that.
Thank you. My government name and Yatu Marvel on Facebook, and on Twitter, which I'm never really on, I and Yatu.
All right. I'm Gina Lamar. You can please follow me on Facebook, Gina Lamar, or go to MondayNightMingle.com, and all of my social media sites are right there. Go to MondayNightMingle.com, and then you can follow me on social media.
What's your lunch and learn? Tell us one more time.
So there's a lunch and learn. I do trainings for the University of Illinois School of Public Health, and this time we'll be talking about HIV and criminalization, right? So I usually am interviewing a physician, talking about HIV, different things. So now I'm using an attorney, Kenya Barnett, give it up, will be there answering the questions about little things like that. Like, doesn't he have to tell me, or did he have to tell me, or like, can I file a lawsuit against him for not telling me? You know, then we have to say you have to prove it was him. You have to prove it was him. No, right? So you have to know who it was. So that's the Lunch and Learn on Monday, July 24th. Go to MondayNightMingle.com and the registration link is up there at the School of Public Health, UIC, West Taylor Street in the auditorium. If you have to talk to me, no, really, please come talk to me. I would love to talk to you.
Cressy is popping on social media.
I'm not.
What about your practice? If they need help with any of these things that we talked about today.
Yeah, so you can call me or email me. My website
is the couch comfortable? That's all I need to know. I'm
KSNYDER therapy THERAPY.com. All my contact information is on there or on Facebook. Chrissy Snyder. Just Facebook me and we'll talk.
Snyder with an I or Y?
With a Y.
What do I? And then you guys, you can reach me on Wanda B, like zzz, on Facebook. You can,
the beehive.
Like the bee, Wanda B on Facebook. And please join our group, He Said, She Said, where we talk about this in our group and chat during the week. Join that group. Like my page, Wanda B. Facebook me, say hello, and then come out on Wednesday. Come to Monday Night Mingle. Make your whole week. Go to Monday Night Mingle.
That's right. The very next Mingle is Monday, August 7th. We'll be at Norm's.
August 7th. Okay,
Yeah.
ours is next Wednesday.
Norm's Bistro.
Okay. July 19th, we're going to be at Room 83.
That's this Wednesday.
So that's this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yeah.
This Wednesday.
I want to see you
Certainly
there.
you want to.
Come on out.
And then if you need tickets to Soul Smash, get your tickets. And then I would love for you to come back here the same time, same place here. He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. See you next week, 2 o'clock.
Peace.
Bye.